Into the later half of the first half.
The man in charge here tonight is Paul Simpkins, our grand final referee from the NRL this season. Brent Webb taking his position at the back. Been a difficult week for him with a family bereavement. So the Kiwis will receive the football here at Westpac Stadium. Great Britain running from left to right. Kiwis won the toss. We're underway. Game 5 in the series of 06. Everything going on the line for New Zealand here in the capital tonight. And it's Vatuvai in the first play of the game, going to ground, 15 out from his own goal line. And now Steve Matai is put away by Keith Senior. Some vigour in the tackle. Mannering. Sure he'll have plenty of family and friends in the crowd here tonight from either side of the Cook Strait. Did spend some time here in Wellington in the Barter Card before finding a home at the Warriors, and this is very enterprising from the Kiwis, but they cough it up.
Surrender, 0.
Inside the opening 60 seconds, and now Great Britain come up with possession. Gets smashed.
Good now.
He is put away. Keedle says, get that India. And now Morley promoted to the starting lineup tonight. Tackle 2, 38 metres out from the New Zealand goal line. Maguire turns it back on the inside. This is Gareth Ellis from the Leeds Rhinos. He goes to ground. Peacock, the captain, he tucks it under the wing. And he attracts some defenders. Ricky was there to finish him off. Mannering and Hallertau, they all peel off respectively. Long with the kick, looking to thread the needle. Some pressure at the back here. And Harper did well, put his body on the line. They didn't miss him either.
New Zealand gives Great Britain the ball, courtesy of a tip on and one pass too many. Soliola goes straight up through the middle.
Soliola cuts and delivers. Lost the ball. Well, after that, how did that happen? Senior's got the pill, but Soliola went straight up Main Street. Here's Price. Wearing 6, playing on the wing, some second phase. He got it back to Newton. Dusty pass. The Brits steady the ship here with Yeaman. He goes to ground. Just his second test match on debut last week against the Kangaroos. 10 metres out the Lions, and starting to threaten here all of a sudden. New Zealand camped on their own goal line. Hock, slow play the ball. They come across to Long, and he fires it to Maguire. Maguire goes himself. Stacey Jones there to wrap him up. He got some help too from Mannering. They are 5 metres out. They come the short side. The pass was a shocker. It goes to ground. The Kiwis have got it.
Well, the game has certainly made its mark quite clear that this is going to be a game that's not going to be just going straight up the middle, physical confrontation, one off. Both sides already shown. Looking for the pass, look for the drawn pass, look to shift the ball.
Nothing fancy here from the Kiwis. Fielden making his presence felt in defence on that occasion. As Atazi, some heavy hand-to-hand combat in the opening minutes here.
Interesting the difference in the line speed of the two respective sides. Great Britain very quick up. Was exposed earlier on, looking to throw dummy one side, go the other. That's where the opportunities are coming out the acting half.
Vangana looking to set it up here for Soliola, who's already caused some problems. Jones with the kick downtown on the last, and it will bounce over the sideline. What a cracking kick it was. Paul Wellens couldn't do too much about that as we go downstairs. Good evening, Stephen McIver.
Thank you, Costo. Nice night for footy, but I tell you what, there are some dark clouds hanging over Westpac Stadium right now. Don't be surprised if we get some rain. But Steve Price, Kiwis have shown their hand already. They're going to run it.
I like the way they're showing the forwards particularly. You know, they're tipping the ball on, so it's going to put a lot of pressure on the Great Britain defensive side.
Both sides up for it tonight, Costo.
No doubt about that. Sure, the Aussies are glued to their TV sets on the other side of the ditch. Going live through Fox Sports. Peacock still going. Probably not entitled to do that. What a surging run. A fine captain's knock.
If you're going to go out of the line and you're going to target someone, Steve Matai, you've got to come up with accuracy. courtesy of that found 20 metres for Peacock, the front rower.
Great Britain back to halfway. And the pass has been spilt. The Kiwis have got it. Soliola is wrapped up by Long. New Zealand now with Brent Webb joining in from fullback. He copped one there from Morley, and he's lashing out at Morley. There's no love lost between those two. 5 gone in the test match. We'll keep a watch on that pair. They come this left side. Jones back to Vangana. In fact, it's the lock forward, Farlongo, and he goes to ground, centre of the ground, 10 metres out, options left and right. They go the latter. Here's Kedwell, no dummies for the Pommies. He got it out the back door. It comes to Webb. He looks to set it up. Not sure where to go. He comes back. Hallertau presses the go button. They shut him down. Battle stations here for the Lions. Kedwell goes to Jones, and now to Mannering. Matai, well read, brilliant play defensively. Leon Price, take a bow. On the last, Mannering goes to Jones. Here's the crossfield kick. Here's some pressure on the Lions. Up they go. What a non-event. What an anticlimax.
Uncontested the final play, but this is exactly the sort of style of football in the game that will suit New Zealand. Great Britain moving the ball around, coughing it over. New Zealand out of dummy half. If the game's all over the shop, this will bring Hallertau into play. You saw him dart near the line there, but they need a contest on the end of their sets. Their last kick.
Some wonderful play at the back end off the line too by Price. Recognising the danger, he got up quick and cancelled it out.
Here's a penalty to the Lions. Price can play 5/8 wing, and he can defend, as we've just seen.
One pass, and Batave could have found himself over the whitewash. Good start by the 5/8 now on the wing.
No hands in second.
First penalty of the game going to the visitors. Maguire's got it. He promotes it for Peacock. Mannering, Hallertau and Jones involved in the tackle. 39 metres out from the New Zealand goal line. Here's Morley. Where's Webb? He's at the back. Playing it safe, at least for now. Penalty. Some of the fans here at the K-Tin thought that they may have lost the handle there, the Lions, but Paul Simpkins has quickly made the call here. It's a tap and go for the Lions. Ellis. Gareth Ellis. What? Move! 19 metres out. He plays it back for Terry Newton. Long. Keeps it going. Maguire back to Wellens.
Release!
And now they come the short side. Maguire. Tricky customer, isn't he? This time, though, Vangana was there to devour him in defence. Long back to Price, and comes across now to Peacock. Out the back door, he pops it. Good second phase from the Brits. Fielden goes to ground. 14 metres out from the goal line. Newton goes for a sortie from dummy half himself. Was there obstruction? Was there what? Big mix-up for Great Britain.
But it took a while to come. It took a while to come from the touching.
Ruben, got to get him out of that rock, mate.
What they do is they let Newton run just that little bit too far, and then it overcomplicates the issue. Wellens comes in, gets in front of him, and the penalty, it's a given.
Costo, can I just say right here that the Poms have blown an opportunity. They had the instruction when they got their penalty. The two runners went out and said, take the 2 points. Sean Logg ignored the instructions from the bench.
Brian Noble, former policeman himself, would not be happy. Here's Mannering.
What is interesting, how they are using Leon Price. Player that likes to have the ball in hand. Offensively, gets in close, first receiver. Senior pushes to the wing. Kiwis coming out of the red zone.
And this will help. Talk about firing up the contest. All hell has broken loose over almost nothing.
Keep an eye on that man in the middle, Keith Senior. Not shy in coming forward if there's half an opportunity. Steve Matai perhaps guilty of throwing.
Get out of it. Brent.
And it's still on.
Brent, back away.
This is the tackle where it started. Watch the attention of Senior here, or the legs. Up he gets. Now there's error number 1. You're in charge of the ball. Senior comes in.
Okay, come over. Hey, you should both.
Oh, this is ugly. This is ridiculous. We've got the referee and the 2 touch judges.
Yeah.
Well, this is mayhem. Absolute mayhem at the crack tin.
So this goes back to when the Kiwis were on attack further down the field, and Leon Price and Peacock had a crack at Steve Matai. Steve Matai took exception to it.
Where's the 5? Over here, mate. Okay. What's your report? Give your report to me. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You'll come running in. The second one started there as well. You can have a rest. Go. Go away.
Well, Steve Matai has got 10 in the bed here, and he may not be by himself. Keith Senior says, I've got your number.
Well, it was all over. You'll call over to give a caution as well, okay? You want to respond again? Not listen to any instruction. You're going to
He's gone as well.
I'll tell you what, keep these 2 apart on the sideline, otherwise we could see a Dowling Tamati incident all over again.
Simpkins laying down the law to the 2 captains as we watch the replay.
It should have ended there.
Well, it didn't.
It didn't, and I think Simpkins has done exactly what you would have wanted. If he's to take the fire out of the belly of a tube, they lock horns.
Like 2 old Merinos in the main street of Goulburn.
And that's when the water was splashed at him, and he took offence on that one as well. But it's back in the game.
So it's 12 on 12 at the Westpac Stadium as we come up to the 10-minute mark. No score. The Kiwis playing for their lives here tonight. This is Jones going across the Kidwell. Wrapped up on his opposite number. Hock was there to shut him down. They come the right side.
And you'll see some quick changes as well. Manning will shift out the centres to fill the Matai gap. Liam Price will move in a little bit closer.
New Zealand surging towards the goal line here. Anxious moments for Great Britain.
A nice carry, David Farlongo.
He plays it back. Vanganar caught everybody napping and will steal a try, or will he not? Yes, he does. He hustled, he bustled, he got there. He refused to submit. He wriggled his way across the line and he planted the football. Celebrations here, but they go upstairs to check it out.
He has got a nifty way of finding the line, this man. Unconventional in many matters. We'll get a look at it here. He stands him up with a dummy and he twists and wriggles himself. And then look at the attention of the players over the top. Yes, he has done it again.
There is no doubt there as he gets over the line. He's still got control of the ball. And you would expect nothing other than TRY. And that's courtesy of the boys from the Northern Hemisphere, Nigel Wagner.
2 video referees here. Graham West from Australia, Grant Wallace here from New Zealand. They concur.
You hit the button, Ropo, the run from Farlongo. It was special. It had aggression, inspiration, and carry written all over it. And then Nigel, he throws the big dummy. Hey, I can play dummy half as well. And then the effort, just the will to get it down.
We spoke about in the opening minutes, the line speed of Great Britain, very quick to overread, move quick. What's open is coming out of the acting half or changing the angle.
The most prolific try scorer in Kiwi Test Rugby League history. He gets another one. And now Jones from close range. He's got it all right. He converts the try scored by Nigel Vangana. 12 gone at the Cape Tin. It's the Kiwis at 6-0 over the Brits.
We spoke about this before the game, that the boys in the forward pack were tipping the ball on, and there was the previous 2 plays leading up to this try, and the defence has to get off the line because of that fact.
A restart here for the Lions. Keeping in mind it's still 12 on 12. Vatuvai with the return here. Yes, Senior on the sidelines in the sin bin. So too Steve Matai after that skirmish or dust up, call it what you like. They come this short side, the Kiwis, with Dean Hallertau and Terry Newton doing his best to complete the tackle. There's one of the sinners. There's the other one.
The Kiwis starting to warm to their task coming out of the red zone. Just nice quick yards out of the acting half. Dean Hallertau then looking to shift 1-2 wide.
And the shift to Kedwell. He's upended, but he kept it alive. Here's the try scorer, Vangana. He goes to green.
Make it back.
One more tackle to play with. Jones realises this. Up and under. The wind swirling around at the Cape Tin. Bouncing ball. Maring's got it, but it's the last. So they will surrender possession here, but perhaps an ominous sign here, given the conditions here tonight.
Fantastic set of 6 again. The Kiwi forwards running in pairs. Ruben Wiki making a difference on the edge. And when the kick went up, it held up in the breeze, which brought everyone into play. Mannering gets a lucky bounce.
But also what adds to it, DJ's not only the wind conditions as well, but the absence of Senior. That's where he would have been marked up defensively.
Morley plays it back. So 6 minutes still remaining for these 2 players on the sideline as Peacock plays it back. And Fowler hits it up. Wiki was there to greet him. On the last, Long, who had such a wonderful game against the Kangaroos last week in that shock win for Great Britain. Here's Webb. Beats one, got it back to the 30. He lashes out at Gareth Hock. Hock tried to sell it to the referee. Simpkins was not interested one iota. Hallertau says, Soliola, do your best. Garcia will play it back. In fact, he doesn't have to because he's got a penalty for his troubles here.
Soliola, the carry of him, and just the aggression and the carry means he tries to get up and get a quick play of the ball. You watch that. He pushes hard and then the quick kick out. Long holds the leg, brings a penalty. When you do things flat out, things go your way.
And New Zealand, quick hands, keeping the ball alive. 28 metres out from the Great Britain goal line. Stacey Jones hands it on to Failongo. He promotes the football for Mannering. Price has to make the tackle. He gets some help. Peacock was there. So too Newton. Vatuvai, dummy half, hands it to Jones, back to Vangana, head down, bum up, 10 metres out. 6-0 the score, the Kiwis needing to win. A sudden death as Jones promotes the football and Brad with the score. Beautiful rugby league in the capital, and the Kiwis get their second try of the night. Is it any wonder the fans are excited here in Wellington? 16 gone, New Zealand hit double figures.
Boy, they set this up well. They just keep going the same way down this end of the park. Watch Stacey Jones. He looks like he's going to hit behind Ruben Wiki. Then he hits him, wraps him, and offloads in the one motion to Webb. That's beautiful. Players on the outside holding their depth helps as well.
Webby started at the back end there. We saw his metres at the top of the show tonight where he talks about 130 odd metres per game. His running game is outstanding, but Sean Long caught in no man's land, unsure who he's going to take. In the end, he took no one. Webby found the 4 points.
Well, it's been an emotional week for the man on screen. His auntie passing away. They will be watching in the Torres Straits through Fox Sports here. One of their heroes at the northern tip of Australia, scoring a crucial try here for the Kiwis, and Brian McLennan.
And the absence of Keith Senior in the last 5 minutes, currently in the sin bin. How profound has it been for Great Britain? The centres, Simon Mannering, he's fitting in well. He's accustomed to it. He knows how to play it, and he's causing all sorts of damage down the left-hand side. Then they're finding some width in the game when they go to the right. Ruben Wiki set that one up well. The line defence of Great Britain, uncertain.
Jones, most points in Tri-Nations history. He is 10 in from touch, 19 out from goal, and the student has rolled off the tee.
That is not unusual here in Wellington, Costa.
Well, we've seen that once or twice over the years. You're still selling those?
Ease up.
Well, the Kiwis, they won't be easing up. This is a dream start for them. Here's Jones. There's the angle. Well, have we got time off here? We have to keep tabs on that too, given what happened 2 weeks ago. Wasn't there some drama about that? These rugby timekeepers, I don't know.
Referee's called time off, so you'd imagine there's no time clock on this.
Guys, got to understand, the wind just keeps barreling on through Westpac Stadium. We're getting just short, sharp gusts every 5-10 seconds, so you can imagine why that little ball doesn't want to go anywhere.
And understand the importance when we talk about differential as well.
Off the tee she goes, off the upright she goes. Unlucky for Jones, unlucky for the Kiwis. 17 gone in Wellington, and it's New Zealand at 10-0 over Great Britain.
That try was Stacey Jones having players inside and outside of him, giving him options, gets around Ruben Wiki, Brent Webb there sniffing around the back up. Beautiful try.
So Long sends us into the next chapter of Game 5 of this Tri-Nation Series. Yes, the wind swirling around at this venue tonight. Brian Noble, the Lions coach, probably would compare this place to the likes of Odsal Stadium in the north of England, as we see a change here with Wiki getting a spell, Kalis coming onto the park. What a change this is, what a play to bring on.
His form over the last couple of weeks has been outstanding, coming off contribution plus from 0 to 100 without us missing a beat. Asatasi hits the line.
And still going. And that's why he was the gun prop in the NRL this year. Super signing for South Sydney. Thinking of the Rabbitohs, Fa'alongo. He's one of those two, and he will play it. One more to play with here for Jones under pressure, and he has been swamped by Newton. That's excellent work from the Lions hooker. He forces the mistake, and Great Britain will come up with the footy, 35 out from their own line.
Brilliant. They set up to give him a bit of cover, and this is a run from Asatasi. He bounces off field and keeps his legs going. Great run. Had protection on the outside. Stacey Jones just couldn't get it away.
The key to players like Asatasi is about the footwork that he puts on before the line. A nice little left step. Jinx back in. Senior not too far away from coming back into the game.
So too Matai. Still 12 on 12.
And look at that advantage at the moment, 64-33.
They crossed the midway stripe here, the Lions through Morley. He got it out the back door. It wasn't pretty, but it's okay. Wellens. What a year he had with St Helens under former Kiwi coach himself, Daniel Anderson. Gareth Ellis putting his pedal to the metal. Centre of the ground, Newton trying to create something with the help of Long. He is wrapped up by Mannering. Fifth and final has been signalled by Simpkins. Newton goes to Price, and he keeps it going. Maguire. The Lions running the football on the last. Now Maguire. He goes to the heavens. He kicks for Senior. So we're back to 13 on 13. Big mistake by far too far. What a shocking error. He's been caught out yet again. He's looking for somewhere to dig a hole at the K10. He has flunked it big time, and the Lions get their first try of the Test match.
What I find interesting, though, Keith Senior back into the game, coming out of the sin bin. Steve Matai was still on the phone sideline. There's Keith Senior involved there, putting pressure on Batubay, knocks it forward, and accepted with plenty of interest.
The thing that catches Manu Vatuvai out here is that he went right across to the post, which is exactly where wingers should go as the ball went left, and worked hard to get himself back onto the left-hand side here, and the ball went up. and he just had too much time to get there. Did the hard work early, the ball sat in the air, had a good look at it, then straight through the breadbasket. Important for Manu now. Sometimes when he has an error, he tends to back them up. He's got to get the ball in his hands and regain some composure.
Such a maligned player in terms of his ball handling. That would be pleasing, no doubt, the British Brains Trust.
But I still find it interesting that Keith Senior could get at least 30 seconds to a minute above Steve Matai to allow a situation where he got 13 on 12, leading to that try.
Well, he's obviously flying first class, Matai economy. Yes, it is quite bewildering, really. Here's the kick from long. He has pushed it to the left. He misses the opportunity to add 2. So the try by Ellis goes unconverted. 21 gone. It's the Kiwis at 10-4.
Manu's positioning wasn't right there, but obviously he was one man short. Senior was already warmed up before the time was up, and he went straight back on immediately. Steve Matto was still warming up, and obviously was getting last requests from the coach before he went back on. It was too late.
Well, there's your explanation.
Hold the phone.
Stacey Jones gets us back underway. Peacock with the catch, and he gets hit. Head went back momentarily. Vatuvai in there looking to redeem himself.
And put Matai there as well. How tough is this youngster? There's not much to him. Reminds me a little Semi Tuitupo with the ABs. All muscle, gets in, rips in.
3-3 the penalty count. This is handy for the Lions. Not a bad touch finder either. 22 gone in the test match. This is Adrian Morley, one of the bad boys of International Rugby League.
Movement! Hold it, back in, back up, Brentwood.
Plays it back for Newton, and here's Fielden. Head went rocking back too.
Make it back. Hold.
Newton. The Lions here starting to build something, you get the impression. Fielden with another carry. Can he offload? Not this time. Mannering did well. 2 more tackles to play with for the Brits. Long shows it. Goes back on the inside. And Maguire's lost it. The ball's come loose.
Turned over opportunity there by Great Britain, but when you talk about momentum starting to swing, you go back to that tackle by Newton, the sacking on Stacey Jones, forcing the pass. Since then, they've grown some metres and got some confidence behind them.
Well, they've had all the ball rope. And right now is a period of play with Dean Hallertau, if he can take a little bit of control, working his way out of dummy half. He also needs to deliver in terms of service. A couple of passes starting to go behind the hip instead of out in front for this New Zealand side. Takes a couple of yards off them.
And looking to get your nose in behind the line. You couldn't want for better interchange. Blair on Fasitasi.
Jones has got it. He goes to Mannering. Mannering cuts back in field, and he kept it alive to Jones. Creative play from this very talented centre. Comes second row. Jones blowing up big time. Blowing up deluxe. Looking for the penalty. This kick will go dead in goal. But Jones had a lot to say there.
Wait.
Just too far the kick. Webb ducks out of dummy half. Good run by Mannering. They spread it wide. Blair was the decoy early. And Stacey Jones, well, he gets rubbed over there. Slow and getting up. The referee's got an error to play the ball. This will help.
Well, Gareth Rayner took off for the Lions. Only problem was there was an infringement.
Just to play the ball there. Bit messy, and perhaps a little unlucky as well. Kayla's getting all over it.
Chant goes up for the locals. This is Kidwell. Crafty play that was. Blair. Adam Blair, former Northland schoolboy, plays it back 15 out from the goal line. Fa'alongo. He charges upfield. Hallertau to Jones. Blair once more puts his hand up. Morley was there to stop him in his tracks. Hallertau, Webb, cutting pass, and they keep it going, the Kiwis. Somehow they keep it on the field of play. metres out with Jones turning it back to Fa'alonga. Newton's there to chop him down. Bungana to Jones. Here's another one, and it's Brett Webb. He gets his second of the night. Right under the crossbar. They will check the tape. Webb looks like he's been injured here. But subject to confirmation, the Kiwis have posted try number 3.
Have a look at the work of Nathan Kalis here. He comes through as a decoy early. Has he got on the road? I was watching it unfold, and he sprinted to position to run through for the decoy. Jones comes this side. This is a run by Fa'alonga. A good one it was too, having good carries tonight. Then they set up to the right, and look at Nathan Kalis pushing people out the road. Now he goes through. Did he take someone out? Was he impeded?
No way in the world. Nathan Kalis is way out of play.
There's no problem with the grounding. You can't reward bad defence.
You do have an obligation, responsibility to be able to read the defensive line and make the right decisions. Kalis is way out of the play there. It's shifted on.
To be fair as well, of course we're a little bit biased, but he was a fair way away from where the pass was thrown as well. He's a good 10 metres to the left.
And it's that play there, the number 12, looking to find some form of reprieve or assistance there by the man up top. But you'd be hard-pressed to find anything that would suggest that they've got a case.
Here we go, the two men high above Westpac Stadium, not far from our commentary position. They say it's a try. Brett Webb, this adopted Kiwi, gets a double in such a crucial game. 26 gone, and it's New Zealand at 14-4.
And again to the fore, the touch of Stacey Jones. Have a look at the passes. The work of Kalis was great, and then the touch, the pass, the timing, and Webb, he's having a field day off Jones.
Nice angles. And Webb's been playing with a little bit of injury as well. There's a rib injury that he's carried for a couple of weeks, and perhaps a sign of that tonight as well as he scored the try. But some great lead-up work by the forwards. Blair, Fa'alonga.
Here's Jones with a sitter, another one. Up go the flags, up go the numbers. 13 minutes before the break, it's the Kiwis by a dozen.
The lead-up work to all the tries the Kiwis have scored tonight has been exceptional, and what they've done is they've stretched this Great Britain defence, made everybody move around, and there, as you saw the lead-up play, guys were going from one side to the other.
So far, so good for the man they call Bluey, Brian McLennan. He would be pleased, surely. Still a long way to go in this one as we get back underway here in Wellington. Vatuvai, he gets a bit of a raspberry or two from the fans here in that corner of the ground. Big man still struggling with the defenders.
And talking about defenders, Keith Senior hasn't been shy since returning to the match. He's ripping into anything and everything that comes his way.
And I plays it back, and Mannering hits it up. 5 metres shy of the halfway line. Motu Tony calling on the referee to give him a quick play of the ball. Blair, he goes to ground in enemy territory.
But more importantly, he gets his head in between the line. He gets it over there, gets him on the front foot. And they continue to roll.
This is Nathan Kalis. One more to play with. Tony goes back to Webb. It was. The kick has come off one of the Great Britain players, it would seem, and the Lions have got it, more importantly, through Yeaman. This is Gareth Rayner from the Hull FC club. Of course, the Humbersiders making the Super League Grand Final this year. Now comes to Price. Controversial figure in British Rugby League. He rises to play the football. So the Lions here looking to pick up the tempo. 12 before the break, trailing by 12. Some big body contact as well. They keep it going, bouncing ball. This is Long, looking for a hole. There's nothing for him.
But their answer to being able to pick up the tempo is about direct, straightening their play up, simple, one off the ruck, out of the acting half.
Maguire holding up the pass, testing the defence, posing some questions, popping it back to Wellens. The St Helens Lions custodian plays it here on the 20-metre line, on the last. Long That pass was flat. Play continues. Long has got it back. He doesn't die with the football either. James Roby, hot potato stuff from the Lions, but they've fluffed it. They've messed it up here. The idea was right. They couldn't keep it going. And the Kiwis, they come away from their danger zone.
Entertaining stuff. Long out the back. They kept it alive, and sometimes that's when you're most dangerous. The Kiwis do well to tidy it up. Soliola down the far side. Matai comes across to get involved. Simple runs, but effective.
Very effective on the part of Shontaine Harper. And here's a piggyback.
2 rucks in a row, offside.
In fact, this will bring them right up in the strike zone, so to speak. 4-3 the count, favouring the Kiwis.
And simple plays when you're coming out of the acting half. You're either going to just get good momentum going forward, or you're going to overcatch the defensive line just a little too quick or too slow to get back.
Chen goes up for the home side once more as David Kittle goes to ground here. It'll be interesting to see what the Kiwis come up with here at the back end of this set. Here's Jones going to Kalis. Senior is there. This big, strong, robust centre, three-quarter. Motutoni. Webb. A dummy. No one is fooled. Certainly not John Wilkin. Jones at first receiver. Blair. Can he pop it out the back door? Not this time. Motutoni looking to steal one from dummy half. He's only a couple of metres out. One more tackle to play with. Bungana. Webb. Okay. A little dab in behind the line. Price is back there. Can he get out of jail? No way! Or did he? The referee, Paul Simpkins, sticking his head right in the thick of it, and he says it's a repeat set for the Kiwis.
On the lines in goal.
Just explaining the rules to Price. From what we can deduct, he had the ball on the try line.
The value of Brent Webb again. Left-footed kick on this side, comes up to take the pressure off Stacey Jones. Have a look at Ruben Wiki and the work he does there. Batovite the depth to push him back as well. They just get him back. He says it's on the line, and on the line is in goal. Pressure. Repeat set of 6.
Quick change from the Kiwis. David Kubala, who's had a pretty good first 30-35 minutes. Frankie Pritchard on.
And Stephen Price, critical in the first game between these two sides about being able to build pressure. There's a good sign to get your first repeat.
Yeah, we have seen that, mate, and it's been a lot better in this game in particular. The Kiwis certainly have been getting penalties. They've been using the ball a lot better, and they've been getting a lot more results in the way of a dropout.
Steve Price, part of our commentary team tonight here in Wellington. So New Zealand, 20 metres out. Wiki hands it on to Blair. Jones has got it. Pritchard, here's a try for Matai. In fact, it's been butchered. In goal. Pritchard. Well, the ball has been spilled. I thought Matai would get there himself. Then he kept it going. They're going to check the tape.
The body language of Pritchard will tell you he hasn't scored a try, but the ball from Matai was phenomenal. Have a look at the line he runs when we get a look at the replay. He stands deep. He hits a short ball. He's running on a slide angle back towards the post down the channel. Motutoni out of dummy half. Then he shifts the ball to Jones. Jones onto Pritchard, and there. He was running hard, Matai, down that corridor. He gets the ball out in one motion, and there the ball's lost. Tension of the Great Britain hand in there as well makes it a bit sloppy.
Well, that's the point I'm going to make here. Could you interpret this as an attempted one-on-one strip? The ball comes out there.
No, I don't think there's a Great Britain hand involved. At first look, it looks as though Frankie Pritchard, this will show us better here.
Well, that's the best replay I would have thought we'll get. Maguire versus Pritchard, the battle for possession. He's knocked it on at the second go anyway, so...
Oh, your classman at straw was a little bit closer with the first one as well. He's entitled to catch the ball and then hold on to it with a hand in it. The hand wasn't actually playing to the football. It was more a sloppy attempt just to tackle.
But
well, it's no try. I think we all knew that after looking at a number of replays here.
But 8 minutes out from the half, and some ominous signs when you bring on the skill set of Pritchard, the ability to find that offload, keep it alive, play on the fringe. Blair doing some great work in the middle.
7.5 minutes before Oranges here at the Cape Tin. A lot of tackling for Great Britain and a lot more possession for the Kiwis. 12-point ball game. The Lions in possession up to halfway. Peacock, hard and straight. Nice play of the ball. The Lions looking to build something here. Ideally like to get another try before the split. Long. A kick into the end goal. What sort of a kick was that?
It's got a big kick. Too far. And certainly not the result he wanted.
Perhaps he was looking to hook that one back across to Manu Vatuvai. Got himself in two minds. Puts it straight up into the middle. Not in the right position on the field to kick back to the right-hand wing. Had to get it up to the left.
Disappointing play from Sean Long, the St Helens playmaker. Has, well, virtually gifted New Zealand possession here. Interestingly, Brian Noble has only gone to his bench 3 times in the opening 33 minutes. Matai plays it back. Wiki hits it up. Passes before the line. It goes to ground. We will have a scrum. He was looking for Adam Blair.
The tip-ons we talked about at the start of the match, always going to cost you a little bit. You don't get him 100% right. As Blair hits the line, a flat pass from Wiki for the last 10 minutes. Just a little bit of enthusiasm and drive's gone out of the carry with a couple of our back rowers.
Here's Senior crabbing across field, then straightening. Point of attack, crossing halfway in the process. Roby looking to spark things out of dumbing half for the Lions. 30 metres out. They are. And that is dreadful. Absolutely dreadful. 5-star performance against the Kangaroos for Long last week in Sydney town. Tonight, well, quite the opposite.
Again, Great Britain failed to build any pressure. Long this time after a fine match last week, puts it down.
And I suspect right now Great Britain guilty of just looking at the scoreboard a little and starting to worry about the result. Trailing by 12 points.
Well, this game really is a semi-final. Chante Halfair played such an influential role in that victory, which seems now so long ago in the Tri-Nations decider last year, as Mannering is picked off by the Lions defence.
The 2 players that come to mind for Great Britain have to define themselves getting back into it. It's about getting some dominance in the middle, and in particular I refer to Fielden and Morley.
Blair dealt with by Peacock and Senior in the tackle here. On the last, they go to Brentwood. Here's a kick over the top. Vatuvai gives chase, but it beats them all over the sideline.
I dare say Brentwood would have loved this kick to set up. It is difficult once you drift across field to actually get the ball to run parallel to touch. Bounces just a metre inside the field of play, and a fine kick. Having a wow of a game.
Senior on tackle 1 here, looking to bust them in long range. Not this time. Been one of his real strong points, Mannering, hasn't it? His defence, his appetite for work rate. There were some questions being asked with his selection in the forwards, but he has answered those critics in the best way possible. Here's a penalty to the Lions with half-time fast approaching.
A little sloppy by both sides over the last 5 minutes. A reprieve here for Great Britain, perhaps the side that's been most guilty, but an opportunity to have another crack at it before the split.
Fielden on tackle 1. Play the ball taking an absolute age. Roby serves it up. Carvel pops it out the back door. Roby brings so much energy off the bench. He plays it back. Peacock Wellington, the playing second row, still going. The captain. Someone shut him down. How's he doing this? Finally they pick him up. Finally they put him on the turf. Never say die attitude from the captain. He's long. He goes to Wellington. What a tackle. Not a copybook tackle. Soliola. That's how you do it. Long. Wellens. And a little kick in behind the line. They play the try in the corner. Gareth Rayner says he's got 4 points, but the referee isn't so sure.
And the only thing he perhaps is not too sure about is whether or not, 1, he's onside, and 2, the grounding. We just saw a sign there by Rayner suggesting maybe no.
This was a brilliant setup, Bropo. I'm sure he's onside, got no problem there. The kick goes through, he's onside, all right. And they brought the players out wide up. Soliola had to come up. Let's check the grounding. Oh, that looks...
Well, they have no trouble with the grounding. It's whether or not it's in the field of play. This is the angle that'll show us.
Oh, that's no problem. That'll do me.
That's fine. That is skillful.
Onside. Slow motion makes it look a little more suspect than what it is. But a glance to mind, he has control, and he's grounded that ball, and he's grounded in the field of play.
You'd have to call it simultaneous, the grounding and the elbow.
You can't take that off him, surely.
Well, the more they look at it.
Was his left arm on the line first?
Well, I'll tell you what we do know. There is not an Englishman in the video referee's box tonight. One Aussie, 1 Kiwi.
We're checking it here when he shifts it from his left to his right. It's the right hand that will apply the pressure to force it down. But the question mark raised, and what we don't see on that angle is whether or not his left hand actually is on the line.
Look, he surely will get benefit of the doubt here.
It would be an injustice if this wasn't given.
Oh dear. Dear, oh dear. I'll tell you what, there's been a few TV sets in the north of England that are going to have to be replaced. They've been robbed here for mine. Rayner can't believe it. And we come back to the 20-metre line for a tap restart, 2 before the break. It's still 16-4.
That was wrong. Us Kiwis, we know it was wrong as well.
With this game being telecast around the world through our international broadcast partners.
Stephen, I know you do your best at half-time to get the coach's comments and what was said in the sheds, but Brian McClellan has got a big speech to give to the side at half-time, probably his most important as Kiwi coach.
Yeah, he has, mate. It's very important this half-time. The Kiwis have obviously had control all this half, but as we just saw then, the Pommies can certainly come back at any stage.
That's the sort of decision that would rev you up, wouldn't it?
That's the sort of decision that'll get a lot of press. Jones thought about the field goal. He does go for the field goal. It's way off the mark. Now some problems for Wellens at the back. They will trap him. Nowhere to go. Paul Wellens, even a player of his calibre, couldn't do too much about that.
Brian Noble, wouldn't his blood be boiling? Stacey Jones going for the field goal. And you ask why? Well, every point's critical, as we know. Every point is actually worth 2. One's added on to your positive, and the other one comes off your negative. If you're on the opposition, they get a repeat set of 6 out of that.
DJ, stop trying to confuse me.
It's not hard.
Just give me 15-point differential.
I'll tell you who might be confused to the British Rugby League management with some dramas over the clock again, given what we had at Jade a fortnight ago. Getting indications from downstairs that there is a problem with the timepiece. What you can see on the screen is only a few seconds to go here. Will they shape for another field goal? There goes the siren in the background. Brett Webb has a stab from dummy half, and he wasn't too far away. A lot closer than Stacey Jones, obviously. So there you have it. A drama-charged and controversial opening 40 minutes in Game 5 of the Tri-Nations. It's sudden death for the Kiwis. At the moment, they're looking okay. They lead by 12 at Oranges. It's New Zealand, 16 points to 4 over the Lions. Stick with us. We will have more from the Cape kicked in right after the break.
Playing the ball very quickly because they're running hard with support, and the support are getting the ball, they're not getting the ball. It's putting a lot of pressure on the Great Britain defence.
There was no surprise that this one was going to be an extremely excitable match. We certainly saw plenty of that in the first half. We've already seen 2 sin binnings, and well, no surprise. Now this one was Steve Matai and also Keith Senior goes right back down to when the Kiwis were on attack, and they had a little nudge in a wing too as well with Jamie Peacock. So that one is of no surprise. Look at this. This one's, I know you don't like it all the time, but it's good to see a bit of niggle, huh?
Steve Matai is a very passionate and aggressive player, and you can obviously see what it does mean to the Kiwis tonight's game with the way the attitude the boys have got.
But that's what you were talking about, and David Fa'alonga coming off the back at 13 has certainly provided plenty, hasn't he?
Yeah, they have, and we can see by the interchange, I suppose. There's only been 3 interchanges for the Kiwi, for the Pommies, and there's been 5 for the Kiwis. The Kiwi guys have been in there ripping in.
Nigel Vargan, I think this is the 3rd game in the series. He may have scored the first try very quickly out of dummy half. There's always been questions as why he's at 6, but he's also very strong defensively as well. But the Kiwis just kept on coming. And the little run around Stacey Jones again and Brent Webb. Once again, outstanding.
The thing that excited me in this play was the play before Stacey was pointing to guys inside, outside me. I want someone out the back. And every one of those guys played a role in that try.
And then here come the Great Britain side. They had plenty of possession in this one. They said earlier, we heard from Eddie and Steve-O, that they're going to target Manu Vatuvai. He's pretty safe when the ball's high and he's not bending over. Down low, you've got to be honest, he's a little shaky.
We saw that Keith Senior went on and Steve Matai wasn't on, and that's when Manu had to get over there as quick as he could.
Yeah, the Kiwis made a huge blue there. We'll excuse the pun, and no pun intended, because Steve Matai was getting instructions, but this one, I think they were a bit lucky here. I mean, even you thought the Kiwis were a bit lucky here to get away with this one. And how unlucky were Great Britain in this one? No try.
Yeah, I think that was a bit tough, that call.
Master of the understatement, Steve Price. Bit tough. They were filthy. Someone came up to me and said, "Your boy's going to say that's not. We've been robbed. We've been robbed." They were robbed pretty much. But look at the possession stake, almost 60-40, which is pretty strong. The completion rate by the Kiwis, all good. You said to me, if the Kiwis stop giving away penalties, they'll continue to be all over Great Britain.
They will be, because of where they are in the actual football field. We can see the possession rates are pretty similar, but it's where they actually are in the field. And we said 30-metre mark is where pretty much the Kiwis have been the whole game.
23 missed tackles and a lot more tackling being done by Great Britain. The second half, that'll be a different story. We saw in Christchurch, they came out, and in the first 10 minutes, they were all over the Kiwis. A reverse.
That's a hard thing to believe, is there's only been 3 interchanges from Great Britain and 5 from New Zealand. When you see how much tackling that the Great Britain teams had to do, it's got to start to take some petrol out of their forwards.
All right, I'm going to put you on the spot here. You said in the pre-game show, Great Britain.
I said my heart was with the Kiwis, but I think Great Britain could win.
Have you changed your mind?
I'm loving what I see from the Kiwis, but they've got to do it for the next 40 minutes. They can't, as we saw at the end of that half, they can't back off. They've got to keep it going.
It is all on at Westpac Stadium in Wellington. Yeehaw, 16-4, the Kiwis lead. They're carving out that points differential difference as we speak. Will they produce a second 40 like the first? Do not go anywhere. We're back in a mo.
Welcome back to the Westpac Stadium here in Wellington, where the Kiwis hold the upper hand by a dozen at the split. They need to win this, of course, by 14 or more, and rely on the Aussies knocking off the Brits next week to have any chance to be in the big one, just like they were 12 months ago. I'm sure plenty was said in the dressing sheds at the break. 3 tries to 1, a first half full of controversy, chock-a-block, particularly with that no try concerning Gareth Rayner. We will hear more about that as Peacock leads the Brits back out onto the cake tin.
Well, certainly the hottest discussion topic and behind the media contingent here at half-time was the fact that for many, that was definitely a try. 100 out of 100 times, if you were the video ref, all in agreement, they would have given it. And also many suggesting right now what Great Britain need is a little bit more power in their game, and that's about looking at their front rowers to be able to get some possession if they want to compete.
Well, they need some completion. 53% completion is not going to help you. You're not going to win a test match if you only complete half your sets. New Zealand sitting at 74, and that's reasonable. as Brian Noble and his coaching staff will settle themselves in for the second half. They've got plenty of spark. They've got plenty of players out wide who can create some points. We've seen that. Buckle up.
Guys, don't underestimate the attention across the Tasman as well. We know the Australian players are watching this one very, very closely, the result, because if the Kiwis get up there, they'll probably get a little nervous. I know Kangaroo halfback Jonathan Thurston's watching this one very, very closely, so we'll just wait and see. He just text messaged actually Steve Price to say, I'm watching and I'm very nervous.
Yes, he would not be alone either. Yes, talking to our English colleagues during the break, they were spitting chips, Peter. Manu Vatuvai, what a big week too for him, Peter.
His wife Jennifer giving birth to daughter Michaela, so well done. And hopefully mum and daughter, all's well, and Manu celebrate.
Sean Long, the Lions that are denied the Kiwis, you'd have to think he will play a pivotal role here, and he did against the Roos 7 days ago. We are set to go here in Wellington, back underway, second half action, Game 5, Tri-Nations 2006.
Costa, just sideline with David Lyons from the Great Britain side. What was said at half-time, David?
Oh, we're almost enemy at the moment, you know. At field position, we're not playing real smart, and the way we're turning possession over at the moment as well. We've fixed things up. We've talked about it. We've fixed things up. We're confident we've done that.
Filthy about the rain and no try?
Oh, without doubt. It looked for all to be a try. You know, you got fingertip control there, so we're disappointed on that. But it's not in our control. That this is now.
Right, good luck.
40 minutes.
Peacock has got it here for the Lions. Yeah, well, they have every reason to think they've been done.
But hasn't Peacock led from the front? A little bit more support from the likes of Fielden and Morley certainly go a long way to helping them get that possession that they need. Webby again just pulls it in.
Brent Webb with his double tonight, putting him second all time on the try-scoring list in Tri-Nations football. He has 8 to his name now. Just one behind Nigel Bunganar. Here's Webb, dummy half, serving it up. Vatuvai. 5 short of halfway. Quick play of the ball. That's excellent work. Motu Tony, he needs no invitation.
Just saw evidence here of what has disappointed many English fans. 1 and 2 in the tackle count. They get the line speed going. They move up quick.
Jones looking to create something. Sayola chopped down. Lovely tackle it was from Yeaman. Here's the last. Here's the kick. Jones going to the heavens. A test at the back. It's no test for Wellens. He just gobbled it up for a late night snack.
Both him and Webb with the highlight. They were the feature pieces coming into tonight's match, and both of them have responded well. Webb down the other end and Wellens at this end. Outstanding positional play.
The Lions now making some inroads courtesy of Leon Price. Big meters now. Roby, he joins in, and just like that, the Brits are back to halfway. Passing before the line, Carvel. And we've got time off here.
Costa, I've got Owen Goodwill, who's been inside the Kiwi dressing room at halftime. Owen, what's the story?
Yeah, very pleased with the way that we've been going in the first half. You know, we need our edges to get in and run the ball from dummy half, take a bit of pressure off our middle zone, and if we keep playing the ball well, nice and quickly, then we're going to get some joy.
Bounce the ball's gone all right too tonight, hasn't it?
It has, mate. It has. You know, we need a few more bounces to go our way, and we'll be happy.
Confident?
Very confident.
And why not? 16 full. The platform has been set. Got a delay here. Less than 3 minutes since the resumption. The drink bottle has to go. What about the other one? The place has been littered. Here's the Ranger. Over the top she goes. That's a knock-on. Gareth Rayner puts it down. This one, well, it was a knock-on.
Well, I'm not too sure about this play. Was it smart? The New Zealand team's got their defence set. It's the last play of the ball. They've had a stoppage in play, and they decide to go wide. Surely the ball has got to go to the air. And if you're not set to contest it down this end of the field, well, I'm not too sure when you are.
Bunganar waiting to play it. Fielden obviously changing that jersey, which has been splattered with some blood. Mannering plays it back. Just for a moment I thought he was going to lose the footy. He did well to maintain possession and keep control of it. Soliola plays it back here for Motutoni. Here's Ruben Wiki. He takes them on. Roby goes low. The Lions down to 12 still for the time being. Webb's got it. He promotes it. Pritchard takes the tackle. Fielding struggling to get back in the line. On the last. They go to Jones. Crossfield kick from the little general. And a good catch at the back. Gareth Rayner. He had to come up with the goods. He did better than good.
Done well. Scored a try that wasn't allowed when the ball was along the ground, and look at this in defence. Gets up off the ground, catches the ball in the field of play. The penalty is the attention of Soliola over the top, takes the player in the mid-air. You cannot do that.
The Lions leading the penalty count 5-4. This their first test match appearance in the New Zealand capital in 82 years. It's certainly been a long time between drinks. Big question coming into this game was, could they go back-to-back on the road? So much was said about that. Well, they certainly shocked everybody last week. Here's another penalty to the Lions.
Punched out.
He's got Ruben Wiki for coming over the top and punching the ball out. Stacey Jones up top, and they're attacking the ball. Deemed to be ruled an attempted steal.
Great Britain on the attack with Fielden. Oh, that was nasty. The head went rocking back for Stuart Fielden. Tough as teak though. He plays it back. He's long. Need to set up his men out wide. 20 metres out from the Kiwi goal line. Maguire. Lions ideally like to score first here in the second half. 5 gone in the second stanza. Long. Flat ball it was to Alice. Stacks on the mill. Wellens has to go back to pick up the scraps. Looking for a hole, looking for a runner. At the moment, the Lions are looking a little bit rudderless. Long. Little kick in behind the line. It sets up beautifully. John Wilkin was entitled to get it and score. He comes up with a fumble. Good and work. The Kiwis, well, they've dodged another bullet.
Great kick. He's got a great short kicking game as Long. And Vatuvai just puts himself in the picture enough to put enough pressure on Wilkin to spill the ball. Looked like a try for all money right under the post. And Manu Vatuvai will give you a wrap there. You put yourself in the frame, paid dividends.
A near thing for New Zealand. Bangana with a nice sortie straight up the middle. Wiki. New Zealand with Matai. Sinbin in that first half. Here's the last. Jones has got it. There's the kick. He goes to the heavens. Rayner again on the full. This time no penalty. They allow him to catch the football. Mannering makes the tackle. And now Wellens, he hits it up. The stalemate continues here. 7 gone. Still no change to the half-time equation. Long with a raking kick downtown. Look at Webb. Perfectly placed to accept the football. The reception committee was there to greet him. 10 short of halfway. Half-air crosses the midway stripe. Not a bad carry, was it?
And this is where Great Britain have let themselves down. Tackle 1 and tackle 2, their line speed's quick. and then they allow themselves to set on their heels and let them come. Good metre serve by the Kiwis.
Wiki beats one, beats a couple, in fact, still going. The old stager goes to ground. 15 out. Motutoni goes the blind. Now the switch. Jones to Webb. Bungana. He promotes it for Mannering. Out the back door. They keep it going. Lovely hands. Great pickup. Harper one-on-one with Rayner. And the Lions hold firm. One more coming up here for the Kiwis. Jones comes back the short side. A little care. Gets loose. It's still there. New Zealand have got it. And 6 more. Harper says, I'll get the pill. So more pressure on Great Britain. Webb across to Motutoni. Light stepper. He keeps it alive. Pritchard. Webb. A dummy. A flick. A standing start. Wiki. He takes the tackle. 3 involved in that one. Right in front of the crossbar. They come the right. Jones running the show. Mannering. He took a pounding.
Great tackle by Long over the top.
This is a big set defensively for Great Britain. Jones with the kick. Into the in goal. A bouncing ball. And New Zealand claim a try. They'll check the tape. Fortune favours the brave. But it looks like the Kiwis have got another one.
Struggling to break the Great Britain defence. A little kick over the top. As they come to the fore, the goalpost was in the road, or the pad was in the road from seeing the actual grounding of the ball. They're onside. The 10-metre line tells that all the Kiwis are behind that. A deft little kick. The ball bounces back off its point. And is it Nathan Kalis?
Yeah, it's Kalis. Webb was looking for a hat-trick, but Nathan Kalis has done enough.
And the only thing remaining to be confirmed is the grounding of the ball. And Kalis certainly looks as though he's there. No issue there whatsoever with the onside. That's all good.
The Great Britain defence had been outstanding off their own line. 2 complete sets of 6.
Maybe a little question mark there. Webby just a little push in the back. They moved on from that. And it's a placement of the ball here. That's all good.
Just repeating, 2 video referees. Graham West from Australia, Grant Wallace from New Zealand. Watching this one ever so carefully at the cake tin.
Now again, as we saw with the try that was disallowed earlier for Rayner, it's whether or not he's still got control on the ball.
But if he has not got control, it's actually going back towards his own in goal. So it's gone backwards. It hasn't propelled itself forward. The hand action is backwards.
Well, the Kiwis are confident. They're back, resuming position, anticipating a kickoff.
I'm not confident after the last result.
Well, why not? But we've got a green light. Worried to be confident. But the Kiwis, they are growing in confidence. We've got half an hour to go. They lead this by 16 with a kick coming up.
Nathan Kalis' contribution today has been one of a support runner in many of his avenues. He's come up with 20 tackles, but he always puts himself in the frame. And here, just by getting himself around the ball, he comes up with the try. Nice play.
The defence blame Great Britain. They were scrambling well. They were being able to be called upon to do back-to-back, and they did exactly that. But in a well-placed kick, they'll be disappointed. They know they wouldn't need it to score next.
Jones keeping that scoreboard ticking over here in Wellington, and the fans, they are getting excited at 22 points to 4.
Great to see Nathan Kalis just putting himself in a position to score that try, and Stacey Jones was heavily involved in those last 2 sets of 6.
He doesn't score too many, Kalis. He'll remember that one. Problems for Brian Noble. They need points. They need them now.
The message will be going out loud and clear. Trouble at Mill. 22-4. The resumption of the second 40. They knew they needed to score first to stay in touch.
Vatu Vine. Lions looking to force the mistake here. 220 says we'll go the blind side. Here's Pritchard, and he got it free. Constructed play down that corridor on the far side of the ground. Matai plays it back. Here's Jones. And Ricky steaming onto the pass. Well, the missed tackles for the Lions will be concerning their coach. Jones with another bomb. He is peppering Rayner, but he continues to come up trucks at the back. And now Wellens doing his best under the circumstances.
Not only does he come up with the goods again, Rayner gets a great offload to Wellens. That was not easy. Catching the ball, 2 or 3 players coming at you, and then offloading in the one motion. Skillful under pressure and composed.
Great Britain needs something special now, whether it be an offensive play or exactly that, a penalty to start getting them some momentum, to get them to play able to play what they talked about at half-time, and that's about position.
Here's Morley. Tackle 1. Just short of halfway. They need some penetration. They need something, the Lions. Come to Long. It goes back to Peacock. Centre of the ground. We've just been told that Stuart Fielding is in the sheds, the Lions sheds, receiving some stitches. Here's Price slicing through, and they keep it alive. Now it goes to ground. Gilmore. Well, what's he doing? Imitating a mud crab.
The Blackpool variety, going nowhere, going lateral. They need to go forward. Price showed the way moments before.
A bumping run from Gareth Hock. Not making too many inroads, although Morley is trying to rectify that as we speak. One more to play with for the Great Britain side. Long, the go-to man for them, a kick and a catch. What a catch it was. It was Kalis, and he sets the field alight because straight away Pritchard says, give it to me.
Well, it wasn't only the catch, it was a little offload. And Frankie Pritchard getting frustrated. If you throw the football when you're in possession of the football, you're entitled to be penalised. This was a kick from Long. It's infield. He catches it like the slips catch, maybe coming up in the ashes, and then the offload through to Pritchard. But I disagree with this policy of throwing the ball at the opposition just because you're frustrated when you're being tackled. Hold on to it. You've already been given the penalty. Discipline.
I'm sure the message has gone out, Darryl. That's a crucial component, particularly in a tight situation like we have. This is the second last game of the round robin series. Here's Mannering being collared by the Lions, but he got it out the back door somehow, despite the attention of 3 defenders. Yossi Asaliala now is picked up.
Hand out of there. Get the hand out and play the ball.
Wiki. He goes to ground.
Hands clear.
As a Tarsi, with his boarding pass in hand, as Kalis keeps it going with Jones and Pritchard. Here's it over. Here's a try. Here's the knockout blow. And it's Vatuvai. Manu Vatuvai, the new father, celebrates the birth of a baby girl this week. He gets a try. And they get another one. And the Lions, they are being carved up. And the Kiwis, they have one eye on the Tri-Nations final at 26-4.
I love watching the basic skills in the game done very well. Shifting the ball when you got an overlap. Of course, Stacey Jones is involved, but Pritchard and Matai on the wing. Pritchard outside his player, Matai drawing pass. Manu holds his depth and comes around for the kick for Jones. Basics done well. Does it get better?
Too often we look to their style, their game, which is about playing physical, playing in the middle, but when they go wide, they've done it exceptionally well tonight. Stacey Jones, that pass to Frankie Pritchard, out of a textbook, flat and on target.
He gets him outside his man. You see that? His man was Senior. Senior was looking after Pritchard. Sure, they had numbers over. That was fine. Good thinking. Better execution.
So wonderfully constructed. Right from the outset, by the time it was played back. The new father. What a way to celebrate the arrival of your first. Well done, Manu Vatuvai. Well constructed, the try.
Jones, just the one miss tonight. And there's the icing on the cake. He adds another one. 57 gone, and the game is slipping away for the Lions at 28-4.
Throughout training in the week, the Kiwis would have practiced that move so many times, and you wouldn't have hoped any better for Bluey to have executed as well as that. Every player played their part in that try, and it was a fantastic try.
The Lions electing to go deep with another restart. They've had a few of them tonight.
Tracy, a coach couldn't want for anything more. To see some in practice so often be completed and executed so well.
Interesting too to see Bartubai with these kick returns. He's had his problems in that area. We go back to Olympic Park in Melbourne, but from the get-go with these restarts, he's putting his hand up here tonight.
Well, he's had to. He's had to catch 3 of them himself off the kick-off, and that one he's handed the ball, so there's 4 from kick-offs. The left-hand attacking edge of Pritchard and Matai has been good tonight, as has the right with Soliola.
But I think we may have trouble there. Manu Bartubai, the trainer, throwing his arms in the air, showing a bit of attention on the far side.
Well, there was nothing in there. It was a bit of a slap. Nathan Kalis, to his credit, kept going, but Simpkins has said, hey, that's not good enough. We've got a penalty.
Kalis showing a bit of footwork, steps off his right foot, comes back across and gets one right on the mush, right on the nose and the eye in the one motion. Bartubai, great charge off the carry, off the kick-off, should I say, and he pumps his legs.
You've got to remember too, Nathan Kalis busted his nose in Greymouth last week. The doctor had said to me it had actually shifted right to underneath his eye, and he did it tough and pretty much didn't play all game. So he's one tough bugger.
Yes, and just on the West Coasters, thanks to their fine hospitality last weekend. It was a great weekend for the game as we see a, well,
Surely.
What was that? Play continues here as we approach the 1 hour mark here in Game 5 of the series. 24-point buffer. Was the ball lost there? Paul Simpkins didn't think so.
Well, he's starting to let things loosen up a little. You're even starting to look at a skinny 10 as well. And with a scoreline like this, you know where that's going.
Here's Vangana, turning it back on the inside. Half hand. He's lost it. Just what the Lions needed. 60-40 possession against them. Morley. He goes to ground. Peacock. Still going. What a surging run. And not for the first time here tonight either.
And doesn't deserve to be on the back of a 24-point hiding at the moment. Played absolutely wonderful.
That pass was knocked down. Perhaps 6 to go. No, says the referee. No, says the touchy. Long across to Gareth Ellis. Newton, who's number 7. Chen goes up for the Kiwis. Their final game in the series, as far as the round robin is concerned. We'll kick over the top from the Lions, but easy pickings here for Harpan. No worries whatsoever for him.
Well done to Harpe too. Johnny on the spot as Fielden been stitched up. He'll re-enter the field. Harpe coming with a marvellous play a minute or 2 ago. He's beaten on the outside and then lunged on the inside to make a tackle. Great Britain throwing everything at it in this last 20.
Buffeting run now on the part of David Farlongo. Backed up by Kidwell. On the last here, it's been signalled accordingly by the referee. Jones has got it. There's the kick. Will it find the line? Bouncing towards the in goal. Will pull up in the in goal. A judicious kick here tonight. The best of the night. And Wellens has got the footy 98 metres out from the Kiwi goal line. They've got a long way to go here. And watch some of these Tommy forwards. They are struggling big time. They are puffing and panting.
But who's not struggling right now is the Kiwis, and there's a nicer feel. They feel and they look a lot more comfortable. The way that they're using their bench, the fatigue factor is not an issue. David Kidwell back on, Mannering getting a breather. This has been prepared well, and at the moment everything's going to plan. Admittedly, they're on the back of some good possession. They go wide, Great Britain.
A sense of urgency now for the Lions. They need quick points. They come this short side with Long. And the kick again. Webber's there. If he's not on the full, he's there on the bounce. Reads the play so well.
I was keeping an eye on Newton, the Great Britain hooker, in that set of 6. Number 9 on his back. He did not touch the ball once, and he wasn't onside until 3 tackles in, but then went wide. He's made 32 tackles. They have targeted him, and targeted him well, fatiguing badly.
Tries to 1, it has been. Still plenty of time left for the Lions if they are good enough. The Kiwis, significantly, just 3 changes left in this game.
I'll put it in context. Have a look at the possession completion rate. 60-40 is possession in favour of the Kiwis, and completion rate of 80 to 67. They can afford to use them up.
Well, they can't afford to kick out on the full.
Wasn't the greatest set of 6 either. Dave Kidwell standing at marker instead of running from marker, slowing the play the ball up. And off the last play, Webb steps out as he does so marvellously well on the left-hand side. Kicks down that channel, and it's a metre too wide.
His only blemish of the night, you would think. Morley. Former Sydney Rooster rises to play back to Newton. Peacock. And that is very sloppy from the Lions, and the body language says anything. They are shot ducks.
Possibly trying to overplay their hand a little as they shift it to the right. And the pass from Fielden, who's just entered the field. Back behind Senior, they tip it on, and it's all a bit of a mess.
23 tackles tonight for Gilmore. He's been a busy player. The St Helens utility can play centre or second row. 17 minutes remaining here in Wellington.
Great Britain always looks so much more threatening, so much more dangerous when the game's a little bit more direct. Too much lateral.
Last week we saw, well, we certainly saw the best of British. Tonight, quite the opposite. They have been outclassed virtually from kickoff. Kalis, he's been among the try scorers here this evening. Here's Jones, scheming and probing as always. Taken by Peacock. Webb, he promotes it. Pritchard, back on the inside, and Matt Tye. Manly centre 3/4. He goes to ground, far side of the ground. On the last. Jones at first receiver. Webb is under pressure, has to think quickly, kick quickly, and again they have given Rayner an aerial bombardment tonight, but he has stacked up nicely for the Lions, and they keep it going here on this passage of play.
Great return from Rayner. Worked his way in field, looked like he was going to open up. Big clash, and again the offload.
Morley, speaking of offloads, out the back door she comes. This time they don't profit from it.
Costo, Jamie Peacock gets a rest, and a well-deserved rest. He would be one of Great Britain's best tonight. Gareth Carvell comes on.
Talk about Great Britain's best. There's one there for the Kiwis as well. Certainly in the frame. He's had a wonderful game, Dave, far onward so far.
The Lions staring down the barrel here. Roby stalking the sideline. Sean Long links up with Price. He's been relatively quiet here tonight, but now he cuts loose and will score. Forget about the chase. He can motor, and he gives the Lions a glimmer of hope. Leon Price coming up with the try, providing we get the all clear from the 2 men upstairs here at the Cake Tin.
And I think he'll come all the way back to the 20-metre. There's a lot of finger pointing going on as it shifts to the left here as to whether or not off the ball. And it's right here. You can see where David Kidwell there's being held back by Wellens. So whether or not they'll constitute a player being taken out. Some nice feet there. Wellens there just getting in between, allowing Price the opportunity to go through the gap.
Well, one, Wellens is in front of him where he shouldn't be, in front of the ball, and 2, Price uses him as a shepherd. Wasn't the greatest attempt to tackle anyway. as Price goes there. Far long though, shoulder grabs at the top, but Wellens is not entitled to be there.
We wouldn't believe it was a bad read by Kidwell, would we?
Well, I was about to say, Steve, I agree that Wellens can't just go in a hole.
They are earning their keep tonight, the two video referees. No try. No try. Leon Price is denied. The Lions are denied. They are not getting the rub of the green here tonight, it must be said.
Agreed, they're not getting the rub of the green, but that is actually the correct decision. He shouldn't have been in front of the ball. Things going New Zealand's way, that is for sure. And we've got a bit of entertainment outside of football as the security guard gets his first tackle for the game and back plate.
This is where they shifted to the left, and Leon Price shows some good feet. He shows what they need to be doing for some time now, which is about being a little bit more direct. Unfortunately, Wellens being called obstruction.
No try, it is. I'm sure they enjoyed that at Bondi Beach. Had a fair bit to say, didn't he? Not that there's anything wrong with Blackpool. Back to the football here. 28-4 is the scoreline. 15 to go in the test match. For and against, so crucial as we say. Harper goes to ground here for the Kiwis. They needed to win by 14 or more. And from that point of view, they are coasting.
Nice tip on. Get back to that play with a second man play, makes yards.
Going to ground is Fa'alongo. Kiwis, if you're wondering, are +7 in relation to that for and against. Matai down the blind side.
And what the coaching staff are looking for right now, the Kiwis, is to continue with the job. Continue.
Jones, again, that crossfield kick. And this time Rayner couldn't collect it. And it's been knocked on by Sean Long on a night he would rather forget.
I would suggest that last one came off Nigel.
I'll suggest you're wrong. I think it comes off Long. The kick was a good one. It was a flat. Comes over the top. Up they go and compete from the ball. They take Rayner out. And right here, the shoulder jostle for the ball. That's okay. You're allowed to do that. And a bit hard to work out exactly who it comes off.
Well, you were prepared to fight over it a few minutes ago.
Oh, we'll still go there.
I think we've got it right here. Admittedly Long, well, he did his best. So a repeat set here for Jones, and he links up with Webb. Webb with such deft footwork. Brent Webb for the try line. He's already got a double. Perilously close. Right under the horns. As a Tazi charging towards the try line. He sucks in a few defenders as well. Dean Hallertau now. Dummy half goes back to Kidwell. He turns it inside to Pritchard, this big unit from the foot of the mountains. Sydney's out of west. We'll play it back in for the Lions again. Camped on their own goal line. It's been a theme here tonight. Bungana. Perhaps he should have transferred the football. 2 more tackles to play with. Jones running the footy, links up with Kidwell, a dummy. Kidwell still going. It comes to Sonny Yola. He's not far away either. On the last, they come the blind, and they'll turn it over, just like that.
Again, the Great Britain defence on their own line, finding it very, very difficult to breach. They have come up and held well. We see Stacey Jones put the little kick over for the last time we're down here for a try. And take your hat off to Great Britain. They're under the pump defensively and they've come up with the goods.
They scrambled well, but also Stacey Jones, hasn't he controlled the game tonight? His involvement's been big. Passing, kicking.
They'll turn it over once more, the Lions. Going in for the kill, you get the impression now, New Zealand with Mannering. 15 out from the goal line. That completion rate for Great Britain. It is haunting them here tonight. Ricky, as a Tazi, the battering ram. 10 metres out. They are lined up both sides. Jones on the right. Kidwell turning and passing. Vangana is upended and dumped big time. Jones, a kick
Great Britain turning it over again. But Stacey Jones, his contribution to the game tonight's been outstanding, and that was planned. He spotted the crossbar, he wanted the crossbar, and he got it. Ruben Wiki. Of course he aimed for it. Well done, Ruben.
Well, you always know you're a chance when you put it somewhere around the post. You might get a bounce off one of the pads, or it might hit a pole or something like that. And just occasionally it happens. That one hits middle of the bar. And the old stager Wiki, he loves scoring tries.
The 4th try assist to Stacey tonight.
Jones, he's had some sitters tonight. Not that he's complaining, nor the fans. It's a rejuvenated Kiwis here. We are witnessing it 34-4 against the Lions.
The previous 3 sets of 6 that the Kiwis had, the kicking game wasn't that good, or the end of the sets weren't very good. Stacey Jones finally got the ball when he wanted it, and big Ruben Wiki, try-scoring freak this year.
Someone to aim up for next year, Steve.
It's too good for me, mate.
More restarts for the Lions. They've had plenty of practice in that department, although this time they almost get something out of it. Vartuvai, hasn't he worked for his keep here tonight?
And recognised tonight the preparation of this football team by their coaching staff. If the scoreline is any indication of how well they were prepared, wonderful job.
6 tries to 1, a second half shutout. It was 16-4 if you joined us late at the split. And here's Wiki, the latest of the try scorers.
I think the important thing to think about tonight's match is the purpose with the carry, that they've carried the ball and they've worked for each other. They've run little plays, always been someone there outside, like a good ball there. Skidwell backs up, another back up in the middle, and behind the back from Nigel Vagana. The entertainer is on show now.
They're hungry. For and against is on their brain. You don't have to be Einstein to work that out. Here's a lovely kick for the line. This will eat up the clock. Jones finding touch with 8 to go.
And it's a good play. They just worked hard coming off their line with some good second phase, some offload, some good support play, and then to come up the other end. And Stacey then to be able to put it to foot, fine touch, slow it down. 8 minutes remaining on the clock and a 30-point advantage.
Just remember the words of Coach Brian McLennan before this one. He said, I just want the boys to go out and have some fun. Well, they've certainly had some fun. Frankie Pritchard off with a corked left thigh. I don't think we'll see the rest of Nathan Kalis. That nose that got busted and got whacked again is still bleeding, but I don't think the Kiwis will need him, but I won't say that too soon.
Well, there'll be some bleeding hearts in the north of England tonight. No doubt about that. On the back of what they did, what they achieved last week, this has been quite a humbling.
Well, the decision not to start Brian Carney is against some of the other players. What Brian Carney brings to this football team with this Great Britain side is he can get your sets of 6 started. He's a hit-up merchant in the NRL. In fact, he got the winger of the year this year, and he can't find a place in this team.
Very difficult, though, on the back of injury, I think, particularly when you've got someone like Hammies. Very, very difficult to overcome within a week. And I'm sure if they had the chance, he would have been in, because you're right, he's special.
Ellis with the kick, and the kick return with Webb.
Speaking of special, Webb, the value he gives to this team. Darren Lockyer has been a one-man band at Brisbane's many for the last couple of years, doing everything, kicking, passing, directing. Webb plays dummy half, kicks, backs up, does everything.
I was just thinking exactly that. What a wonderful addition to the Super League in the Northern Hemisphere next year. 2 of the best number 1s in the game. Wellens, Webb.
Sure, when Leeds take on Saints, they'll have plenty coming through the turnstiles for those games. 6 to go here in Wellington. This is Wiki. Still going. Captured by Peacock, but it took some time. Someone who was struggling with cramp, he's doing okay. Here's a kick from Webb, and up and under. Vartuvai was coming through. The Lions have got it, but they're going nowhere.
Peacock has led well for the Great Britain side tonight, but so is Ruben Wiki. 26 tackles, 14 hit-ups. And there's a new differential now for New Zealand, plus 13. Great Britain minus 19.
The Lions looking to salvage something out of this game here to take into next week's awesome assignment against the Kangaroos.
Isn't there a saying it's a long week in a game of football?
Is it what? We've seen that here tonight, Steve.
Fantastic.
But must stress it's not over for the Kiwis. They know to sit back next week.
Well, it's been an absorbing series. Let's get that straight. And we've got a fumble here from Kurt Yeaman in just his second test match. Listen to the heckling. They are giving them some curry.
Yeaman takes Soliola on the outside half. He stays on the chalk. Soliola does his best and regathers them, then flips them over and just loses the ball trying to get up to play.
I'd say there was a hand in there by Kiwi.
Oh, there's always been a hand.
The little things, the football gods that we talk about.
Okay, Ben.
Tony in the half-back position. Well deserved. The little general taking some time out on the bench.
The Kiwis now working it back to halfway. 4 to go. General, the little general, Jones, coming from the battleground. That was awkward to say the least. The crowd here tonight, close to 16,500. There had been a lot of concern about what sort of numbers would rock up here tonight in relation to the viability, the financial viability of the tournament. Kenwell, just giving it to him, everything but the kitchen sink. Gareth Ellis just lined him up and hit him big time. The tackle of the knife coming in the dying stages. Get that India.
Not short on dishing it out. Kidwell and seen on Mason. It's time to get square. By Great Britain, or courtesy of Great Britain.
Speaking about getting square, Darryl, the Kangaroos, the old bounce back factor. The Lions off to Suncorp, off to the Caldera next week.
Entertaining match. Of course, there'll be plenty to play for. New Zealand will be watching that one, as will everyone. Ruben Wiki coming up with a cover defending tackle there as well. Just continues to get better and better.
Here's Wellens, chip over the top on the last. Will he get the bounce? Not quite. Lovely work there from Mannering, just dishing it back ever so casually. Unorthodox it was, but it worked out okay for Webb.
Just shielding the ball. Let's Webb pick it up with a free rein. There's Batuvai, who's been impressive tonight with just the one error. 11 tackles, 11 hit-ups.
Costo's sideline with Nathan Kalis, who was... How's that nose again? You got it whacked again tonight, didn't you?
Yeah, I know. Must have a bit of a target on it, but just happy to get the win.
Mate, how good is this win tonight?
Yeah, very good. We've been building really well over the past 5 weeks and trained well this week. We knew we had to come up with something special, and the boys, everyone's just done their job, and it's great.
Played out of his skin. You're well into the plus, and they're minus 19 in points differential, so you just be cheering for the Kangaroos next week.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, we'll just have to wait to see what happens, but all we can do is control what we can, and we did that tonight, and just have to keep our fingers crossed.
Very nice game tonight, mate. Well done.
Cheers, mate. Thanks.
Into the dying stages, well and truly, just 90 seconds to go. Jones can now sit back and join the likes of Kalis and cheer on those Aussies next week. Doesn't happen every day of the week, Darryl, over here.
The question mark over Hallertau and the service from dummy half, where we posed at the start of the show and the start of this broadcast, has been answered. If everyone does their jobs, runs with a bit of extra purpose, a bit of excitement, carries the ball forward, it can make that dummy half job a lot easier than it looks. Plenty of willing helpers, plenty of friends around that area.
Inside the final 60 seconds, the Lions want to salvage something from this wreck. Long as the blind side, the ball has gone, well, it's deflected off a couple of players. Senior's got it. It comes back to Roby. He's stepping and weaving and offloading. Now a kick has been launched. And what a take that was. Super take. Big catch it was, going up high. Soliola.
Rock solid Soliola. What can the man not do? He's been fantastic tonight, as he has been all series. It's not easy, falls awkwardly.
Well, who said this series was dead? The Kiwis, just 2 hours ago, they were at long odds to successfully defend their series. They are a big chance now. Brian Noble is shell-shocked, and why not? 6 tries to 1. They have blitzed Great Britain. 34 points to 4 here in Wellington. What a night for the men in black. They needed redemption. They needed something. Their first legitimate win since their victory in the Tri-Nations final 12 months ago. Stripped of the 2 competition points for their win over the Lions in Christchurch. They have got it right tonight in style.
And Great Britain, what a big hill they've got to climb. Nearly 400 tackles tonight, 380 tackles. That will be a huge effort to get over in 1 week when they face Australia next week.
Let's go downstairs, and Stephen is with one of the Kiwi heroes.
Ruben, you get a try and you blow the points differential back. You're well in the hunt again.
Yeah, mate, we just went out and didn't worry about the points, and we stuck to the plan, and we really enjoyed it today.
Bluey said before the match their instruction was to go out and have some fun. You had a little bit more than fun tonight, didn't you?
No, we did, mate, and it's been coming for a long time, and after losing the points and stuff, it's we really focused on winning this today.
I know a lot of people talk about, and we in the media talk about the pressure that you guys have been under. Did you feel the pressure coming into this one?
No, mate, we just concentrated on us during the week. Boys just enjoyed it. You know, Manu had a baby, my baby girl. Congratulations, Jenny and little Michaela, and that just gives us heaps of spirit, you know, and everyone's happy, everyone's clapping, mate.
Well done, man. Now you have to go cheer for the Kangaroos.
Never.
Well, there's no shame in that, given the circumstances. Let's go downstairs once more, and one of the men who really tried his heart out for the Lions is standing by with Peter.
Jamie, I can guess the only way you're feeling right now is absolutely gutted.
Yeah, it's a very poor performance by us. Got the correct word.
Mate, you talk about this game, and at this level it's about position, it's about possession.
Yeah, we was ordinary to say the least in the first half with the ball. You know, it's very disappointing. It's not the way we trained, not the way we played last week, so hopefully we're going to have to improve for next week.
Well, that's what's made this series so interesting. It's still alive for next week.
Yeah, I suppose so. If you're promoting it, it's that way, but if you're us, it's not, you know what I mean? We want it to be there, so you know, we'll have to just regroup and get ourselves ready for next week.
Yeah, well played.
Cheers, thank you.
Yes, a Remembrance Day the Lions would rather forget. An emphatic victory for the Kiwis. Webber double, Bungana, Nathan Kalis, Vatuvai and Wiki all getting tries. Jones 5 from 6, while for the Lions just 1 try. Ellis getting across the stripe, Long none from 1. 34-4 at the final. Stick with us. More from Wellington right after the break. Celebrations for Ruben Wiki and the Kiwis, and why not? They had to win tonight, and they've done a job on Great Britain. Let's go downstairs, and Peter is with a very happy rabbit who's also a very happy Kiwi tonight.
David, a result like this only suggests that your preparation was ideal coming into this match.
Yeah, our preparation was pretty good this week. We just stuck tight and just done it for each other, pretty much.
Mate, you talk about doing it for each other. There's a special bond in this football side. Yeah, you're delivering consistency.
Yeah, it's definitely all the boys are just tighter, and no other team's got that bond, you know, like us, and we're just really tight.
Renegade, that's gone now. That's history.
Oh, that's history, all right. We're just focused ahead, and we'll see what happens.
So next week, just cheer for the Kangaroos.
Cheer for no one.
Well done, buddy.
I'll just say hi to my wife, Melissa, my son Bailey, Natalia, Warren, mother-in-law, and my mum and dad at home. Thanks a lot.
Okay, let's have a look at our match stats full time here tonight, and a glut of possession to New Zealand here tonight. That was pretty ordinary from the Great Britain point of view. The penalties, well, there was plenty of business there tonight, 15 in all. And in the end, the Kiwis, too much possession, too much firepower for Great Britain. Let's go downstairs, and Stephen is standing by with the Gillette man of the match.
Stacey, hell of a game tonight. Can you believe what happened there?
It was a fantastic performance from everyone. We never thought we'd win by that point margin, but you know, we were confident that, you know, we'd come here and put together a good performance, and that's what we did. Crowd were fantastic, got behind us, was great.
Stacey, you're well back in the hunt. Your points differential, forget about that. The Kangaroos just have to win. Congratulations, the Gillette man of the match, your $1,000 to Women's Refuge, and of course you pick up the Crisco hamper. So nice job again, mate.
Yeah, it's awesome. Thanks for Gillette, and thanks for everyone that turned up. Fantastic. Cheers, Steve.
Yes, close to 16,500 tonight. Well, Stacey Jones will say he aimed at the crossbar. Well, he'll tell these grandkids that. And Ruben Wiki, Darryl, he'll concur.
Well, his touches were fantastic. 4 last play assists for tries of Stacey Jones tonight. And just enjoying his stint back in New Zealand. I think he's really relished a chance to come back and play football back here in New Zealand after a pretty quiet time in France with Les Catalans. That man's instrumental. They've got a fair bond together, Jones and Webb.
Well, happy days, certainly for the Kiwis at long last. Brent Webb on a lap of honour as we go downstairs. And tonight, Steve and Peter, there'll be some celebrations tonight here in the capital.
It would be fair to say Peter will be very happy with the fact that he's got the Kiwis to get into the final and win the final at 7:50 on a performance like that. Let's ask the question now. If you're Australia, and your mate Jonathan Thurston's probably texting you again saying, oh, what's going on, Stevie? If you're Australia, would you be a little concerned right now?
That's a big fella.
If you're Australia, Steve, would you be concerned right now?
Obviously, but the way New Zealand played tonight was very good, so they can back that up. It's going to be pretty scary if they get there.
Mate, the game of footy, sometimes you look at it, it's so simple. It's about being able to play completion and possession. You know, if you're playing down the right end of the football field, you're in with a shot. Great Britain tonight, unfortunate.
Yeah, they certainly didn't execute right, and they put themselves under pressure. And the way New Zealand came out was really good. You know, they made the Great Britain defence move around.
Well, here we go. The Kiwis started in minus. Look at them now. They're sitting on plus 13. And Great Britain are sitting on minus 13. And that's the way it goes. We are done here. An enormous win by the Kiwis. They'll be cheering for Australia. All Australia do is win, and it'll be all over. It'll be a Kiwis against Australia again. Ruben Ricky's one happy captain from Westpac Stadium. The Kiwis are alive and kicking in the Tri-Nations.